Okay, hello everyone. Hope you guys are all still doing okay. So last time we talked about an introduction to rational functions, and then we talked about multiplying and dividing with rational functions. So today we'll just do more of the same thing, except today we're going to incorporate factoring into rational functions as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So let's go ahead and try to simplify this expression, x squared minus x minus 12 over x plus 3. So right now we can't really do anything because again, everything on top is being subtracted, right? So we can't just go ahead and cancel out those two x's because they're not being multiplied. So we can only cancel out once we have things being multiplied together, not if we have adding or subtracting. Okay, but what we can do is we can first factor. So let me go ahead and make a note of that. So first thing we should watch out for is to factor. And then again, just like you did last time, please make sure you take notes as you watch the video. So let's see if we can what we can factor. So x squared minus x minus 12, right? So this we've done plenty of times this year so far, but just as a refresher, we want two numbers that add up to -1. Multiply the -12, and hopefully you were able to come up with x minus 4 and x plus 3. And then on the bottom, there's nothing to factor, so we still have x plus 3. And now we have multiplication, right? Now we have x minus 4 times x plus 3. So now we can cancel things out. And this is what we did during last time. So if we have something in common, we can divide by x plus 3. So we're just left with x minus 4 times 1, or just x minus 4 over 1, but that's just x minus 4 once again. Okay, so really nothing different from last time, but we're incorporating factoring into the lesson as well. Okay, so let's see what can we do over here. Again, right now these are not factored, so we can't just go ahead and cancel things out just yet. Okay, so on top, what can we do? Well, x squared plus 5x. And remember, one thing that's important with factoring is we should always watch out for the greatest common factor first. Okay, so remember, these are very important ideas that we talked about during this year. So then let's first look for that greatest common factor. Well, we can take out an x. So we're left with x plus 5. Okay, and how about the bottom? Well, here we want two numbers that add up to -3. Multiply the -40. I think that's going to be x minus 8, x plus 5. Okay, and again, this is the part where we can start canceling the common factors out. So these will cancel out. Divided by x plus 5, I get 1. And then what do I have left? I'm left with an x on top over x minus 8. Okay, and again, it's very important that we don't cancel out these x's, right? Because the bottom, this is x minus 8. So they're not being multiplied together, they're being subtracted. So those are not things we can cancel out, but rather that whole thing will be our final answer. Okay, so that's simplifying, but let's go ahead and take a look at multiplying and dividing. Again, we already did that during last time, but now we're going to incorporate factoring into it as well. So let's go ahead and try to see if we can factor each thing. Okay, so let's start with x squared minus 36. So this, again, we can go ahead and do our little trick, add up to 0 this time, multiply to 36, right? Adding up to 0 because there's no k term. You can put a plus 0k if you like. So here I think we'll have k plus 6, k minus 6. It's a difference of two squares. And then on the bottom, k squared plus 6k. Well, again, this we have a GCF, right? So always watch out for that first. We can take out a k. And then we're going to end up with k plus 6. And then multiply. K minus 2 is just k minus 2. Nothing we can do there. And then over here, this we can factor, adding up to -2. Multiply to -24. So that will be k minus 6 and k plus 4. Okay, so now that we factored everything, we can go ahead and do some canceling. So these can cancel out, k plus 6, k minus 6, and cancel out there and there. Remember, you can only cancel things out if they're if they're the same, first of all, and also if they're on different sides, right? So top and bottom, that works, but if they're on the same side, then that would not work. So at the end of the day, I have k minus 2 on top. On the bottom, I have a k here, so make sure you put that. And then a k plus 4 there. And there we go. Nothing else we can do. Again, these k's I can't cancel out because the top is k minus 2, so that's not being multiplied, that's being subtracted. And there it is. Okay, so let's try one with division as well. Again, with division, actually, we can factor first, but before I forget, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite the whole thing, but I'm going to change it to multiplication first so that I don't forget to do it later. So with division, again, make sure we multiply by the reciprocal, as we talked about last time. So I'm first going to go ahead and flip my second function here. Okay, there we go. And now I can start factoring x minus 6 as just x minus 6. Okay, 5x squared minus 20x. So here I think we have a GCF. I can first take out a 5 because that can be divided by, or that can go into both 5 and 20. And I can also take out an x. And then I should be left with x and then minus 4. Always, you can double check, right? If you distribute this back, I should end up with what I started. 5x times x is 5x squared. 5x times minus 4 is minus 20x. So that checks out. And then up here, let's see, factor. So up here, I want to add up to 4. Multiply to negative 32. That looks like x plus 8, x minus 4. On the bottom, once again, I have a common denominator. I have a greatest common factor. With it being x, and then I'm left with x plus 8. And now I can go ahead and start doing some canceling. I see x minus 4s here. I see x plus 8s here, here. And I think that's it, right? These x's, I can't cancel those out, right? They are being multiplied, but I can't cancel those out because they're both on the denominator. So those I cannot do anything with. So on top, I have x minus 6. And at the bottom, I have 5x times x, or 5x squared. All right, and that is it. Okay, so I think I've got a couple more examples down here at the bottom, but the idea is the same. They're a bit more complicated, so let's go ahead and give those a try as well. Actually, it might be a good idea for you guys to pause the video right now and give these a try, and then see what you can do. And then go ahead and continue to see how well you did. But let's go ahead and get right into that. 5m cubed plus 35m squared. Again, GCF is the first thing you should watch out for. I can take out a 5. And I think also an m squared this time, leaving me with m plus 7. At the bottom, I'm going to add up to negative 14, multiply to 40. So that looks like minus 4 and minus 10. M squared minus 16. I want to add up to 0, but multiply to negative 16. And then 10 and minus 10 plus 40, I can take out a 10. That's my GCF. There we go. And again, here comes the canceling part. Let's see, n minus 4, n minus 4. n plus 4, n plus 4. Okay, and m plus 7, n minus 10, those I cannot do. But 5 and 10 I actually can cancel out, right? Those are numbers. I can divide those by 5. So I'm left with a 1 here and a 2 here. So then at the end of the day, I'm left with m squared, m plus 7 on top. And at the bottom, I've got a 2 and n minus 10. And I think that's all I can do. And there it is. Okay, and let's just go ahead and finish this up. One last one. This again is division. So before I do anything, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite by multiplying by the reciprocal. So times. Let's flip the second fraction. 3m plus 21. And then again, now we can do the canceling. N squared minus 1. Now that may not look like it can be factored, but it actually can. Right here we can We want two numbers that add up to 0, multiply to -1. So n plus 1 and -1. Here we're adding up to -7, multiply to 6. Let's see. I think that's going to be... can that be factored? N squared minus 7n plus 6. And minus 6 and minus 1, it looks like. There we go. And times. Here, adding up to 1, multiplied to -42. That's plus 7 minus 6. And then down here we have a GCF. Okay, so I'm going kind of quickly with the factoring because we've done that all year. So hopefully that's still relatively fresh in your minds. But let's go ahead and do some canceling. N minus 1 and minus 1. N plus 7 and plus 7. And minus 6 and minus 6. So most things actually cancel each other out, leaving me with n plus 1 over 3 at the bottom. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so that is pretty much everything with multiplying and dividing with rational functions. Again, the key things to watch out for, you first want to factor, and then look for the GCF, of course, as well. And then you can go ahead and do the canceling step. And I think that's pretty much it. So go ahead and give, hopefully you're taking notes first of all, and then go ahead and try the homework. And of course, let me know if you have any questions. And other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day and have a good weekend as well. And we'll see you next week.